Hello everyone! Magandang hapon po. Hello to our youth delegates and hello to all those watching us online.
Welcome to G, the first webinar of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Mission in collaboration with Dominus Est for the youth for the year of Missio at Gentes.
Welcome po, especially to all the youth delegates invited by the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Youth from the 86 dioceses and 25 national organizations around the country, now joining us through Zoom. Thank you so much to Father Cosme Executive Secretary of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Youth, for all our youth delegates today.
Wow, ang dami. Of course, welcome also to those watching on social media pages who have cross-posted this webinar. It's so nice to see the youth all around the country and around the world come together for mission. G na ba kayong lahat for mission?
G.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Renee.
And I'm Oreo, and we are the hosts of the youth show called Group Chat on Dominus Est.
We are so honored to be your hosts for today, and our online community, Dominus Est, is honored to have been tapped by the CBCP Mission to organize their first 3 webinars for the year of Missio at Gentes for the youth.
Brother Kevin, ano ba ibig sabihin ng Missio at Gentes? Latin kasi.
Pero friends, before niyan sagutin ng very dear friend natin na si Brother Kevin, fun fact about him, he just graduated from San Carlos Seminary last year and he will soon become a priest. So tamang-tama, paki-explain kasi marunong yan mag-Latin for sure.
I don't know about Latin talaga, but what I do know is that Missio ad Gentes literally translated means mission to the nations. This year, 2021, the Philippine Church marks 500 years of the arrival of Christianity. So our bishops have chosen Missio ad Gentes as the theme of the pastoral year 2021. Since the mission came to our shores 500 years ago, this time we bring the mission to the world. Since we were given the gift of faith 500 years ago when Christianity arrived in the Philippines, now it's our turn to give this gift and share it with the world. It's based on the Gospel of Matthew. What you have received as a gift, give as a gift.
Okay, get. So this is why our motto for this year is also give. For our webinar title, G, game, we are gifted to give and we give our yes.
Yes, pero just a brief explanation. For the non-millennials here with us today, G is actually a millennial term for game. So G ba tayo for mission?
G.
G na G. But before we begin our program, to get ourselves ready for mission, let us first put ourselves in the holy presence of our Lord.
Yes, G, I'm so excited for our opening prayer today because it is from the youth all the way in Cebu. Medyo malayo to, guys. Kung maalala nyo, we just celebrated the Feast of the Santo Niño. And for sure, kung walang pandemic ngayon, siguro tayong lahat ay nagpuntang Cebu to celebrate with them, especially because the first image that was given to the Filipinos 500 years ago as a gift was the Santo Niño, given to Reina Juana, the wife of Raha Humabot in Cebu.
Yes, that is why we are so happy that today somehow we will still be able to celebrate the Sinulog with our brothers and sisters from Cebu, where Christianity in the Philippines first started. Let's now welcome for the opening prayer the Commission on Youth of Cebu, led by the Parish Youth Coordinating Council of Santo Rosario Parish for the Sinulog Dance Prayer.
Daghang salamat Cebu Commission on Youth, especially Santo Rosario Parish Youth Coordinating Council.
And we'd also like to especially thank Father Andre Ventanilla, the Archdiocesan Youth Director of the Commission on Youth of the Archdiocese of Cebu, for putting together that special number.
From Cebu, punta naman tayo sa Bicol. Since this is a youth webinar and we have delegates from the various dioceses and national youth organizations across the country, thanks to the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Youth, we have the honor of listening to Bishop Rex Andrew Alarcon of the Diocese of Daet, who is also now the chairman of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Youth. Bishop Alarcon is a true Bicolano. He was actually born in Daet, Camarines Norte, and was ordained a priest for the Archdiocese of Cáceres way back in 1996. He also served as president of the Catholic Educational Association of the Philippines prior to his own appointment as prelate. He is now the 4th bishop of the Diocese of Daet. Let us now listen to the chairman of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Youth, Bishop Alarcon.
I am very glad to welcome you, dear young people, to this mission seminar for the youth, organized by the Episcopal Commission on Mission in partnership with Dominus Est, dubbed as New Evangelization in the New Normal for the New Generation. This is a timely and needed initiative as we celebrate 500 years of Christianity in our land. We are grateful for the gift of faith, as we are grateful for the efforts and sacrifices of missionaries, both of the past and of the present. Our gratefulness, I pray, would evoke in us a sense of responsibility. We have received, we are also called to give. This is expressed by the theme of the Year of Mission, Gifted to Give. Dear young people, with you, we are facing new challenges, new frontiers. Pope Francis encourages us to work on the present, to build the future, to make a difference, because you are the present of the church, of society, the present of God. This particular webinar is an invitation, especially for you, dear young people, to be mission-centered netizens. We are citizens of a digital world, but this world is very complex, confusing, multiple, diverse. We need to recover our sense of purpose, for it is easy to get lost in this World Wide Web, WWW. Without a sense of purpose, without a sense of mission, we can get lost. We may succumb to despair and resort to a feeling of worthlessness. You are needed, young people. Marami tayong kapwa kabataan naguguluhan, hindi alam ang kanilang gagawin, nawawalan ng pag-asa. Kailangan nila ng kapwa kabataan na aakay sa kanila dito sa digital world. Kayo, kailangan namin kayo, kailangan kayo ng simbahan, kailangan kayo ng bayan. The present situation and the future is confusing, the tasks challenging, and the journey ahead is daunting. Nevertheless, we take courage because Jesus exhorts us, put out into the deep. Katulad ng mga misyonero noong 1500s, hindi nila alam ang pupuntahan nila. The oceans were uncharted, but they took courage to bring the gospel. Gayon din para sa marami sa atin. Hindi pa natin nauunawaan. Marami pa tayong hindi alam dito sa digital ocean or dito sa secular world. Pero tayo ay tinatawag to make our first step, to sail anew, to set forth anew, a new missionary endeavor. We take courage, and we will try with faith and trust in the Lord, because the easiest way to fail is not to try. So mga kabataan, G na ba kayo? Let us take our first step with trust in the Lord. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. We make this step trusting in the Lord who calls and who sends. Thank you to the Episcopal Commission on Mission, headed by Bishop Sok Messiona, for this initiative for the youth. Thank you to all the resource speakers and to all partners and to all who gave their assistance so that this webinar may happen. I am sure this will be a productive endeavor. I wish you all the best as I assure you of our prayers and support. Have a meaningful and productive webinar.
Thank you po so much, Bishop, for your inspiring words. It's true na we can get lost sa internet, like sa sea of social media. There's just so much, and tayo mga youth are all exposed to that. But it's true what he said, we need a sense of purpose kasi we are the now of the church and we have a mission. Kaya G na G. Now, since we have the blessing of the Bishop of the Commission on Youth, I think we're ready to listen to our speakers for today.
Excited na ako kasi we have speakers who are experts in media. Kami po ni Renee, we are communication graduates, so perfect rin kami for this one. So we are so excited to have with us Miss Kat Diaz of TV Maria and Miss Leahna Villajos of Cubao Media, who will tell us how to become effective but mission-oriented content creators.
But before becoming content creators, siguro we need to learn first how to be mission-oriented netizens. Kasi not all of us are content creators, but almost everyone today is a netizen.
Yeah, that's so true, Renee. So let's welcome our first speaker, Father Juvenal Paul Samnia of the Salesians of Don Bosco. Father Julianne is the elementary spiritual moderator and institutional pastoral ministry coordinator of the Don Bosco Technical Institute in Makati City. He also serves as provincial delegate for the Salesian Youth Movement of Don Bosco, Philippines, North Province. He is a member of the Salesian Commission on Social Communication, Commission on Youth Ministry, and Vocations Ministry. He is actually a graduate of UP. He graduated cum laude with a degree in speech communication before earning his master's degree in theology from the Don Bosco School of Theology, where he graduated magna cum laude. Ibang-iba talaga si Father. Let us now listen to Father Julianne as he talks about how to be a mission-centered netizen.
Binabati ko ang lahat ng mga kabataan at mga kalakbay ng kabataan na kasama natin ngayong hapon. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Magandang hapon sa inyo mga minamahal kong kapatid kay Kristo. Ako po si Father Juvenal Paul N. Samnia, isang paring Salesiano na naka-assign dito sa Don Bosco, Makati. Ang taong 2021 ay mahalaga sa atin sapagkat ito ang ika-500 taon ng pagdating ng mabuting balita ng kaligtasan dito sa ating bansa. This year we are celebrating the 500 years of Christianity in our country, and indeed 2021 is a year of grace. Sa taong ito, hinahamon tayo na magmisyon sa pamamagitan ng ating tema na Gifted to Give. Kung ano yung natanggap natin na mabuting balita, yan din ang mabuting balita na ibibigay at ipapasa natin sa iba. Hindi na ito bago sapagkat ang ating Santo Papa, Pope Francis, ay paulit-ulit tayong inaanyayahan to become youthful, joyful, missionary disciples. At sana ngayong taon ay mapangatawanan natin yan. 500 taon na ang nakakaraan nang tinanggap natin ang mabuting balita mula sa mga misyonerong Kastila. Ngayon naman sa ating kasalukuyan, inaanyayahan tayo, ikaw at ako, na ipahayag sa iba ang mabuting balita na ating natanggap. And in this way, the story of Jesus, the good news himself, continues to be shared and told throughout the world. For us young people, and those of you who are young at heart, we are called to share the story of Jesus in the social media and the internet, where most of the world's young people are found. Social media and the internet are so important that even the Holy Father has his own Twitter account and social media account. And in fact, we have pastors for the internet and social media. So this afternoon, allow me to share with you 3 pointers for you and me to become a more responsible netizen. Number 1, help end bad news, fake news, and false news. Yan ang trio na dapat nating iwasan. Think before you click. Makakapagpadala ka ba ng saya sa pamamagitan ng post mo? O magdadala lang ito ng bad vibes? Pagka ba nag-tweet ka ng ganyang message, magkakaisa ba yung mga tao? O dahil sa tweet mo, magkakaaway-away yung barkada mo? Help end bad news, fake news, and false news. Think before you click. Laganap sa social media at internet ang tinatawag nating fake news at false news. Minsan, sandamakmak yung inaccurate information na makikita natin sa article. Hindi automatic na nasa internet ay totoo na agad at tama na agad. Yung iba may inaccurate information. So, wag lang basta-basta share ng share. Take time to study, to analyze, and to fact-check. Mahalaga yun, fact-checking. Yung iba naman, baka hindi natin napapansin, ay deliberately gumagawa ng misleading news. Dinedevelop ng mga gumagawa ng spin. Iba ang totoo at iba yung pinapalabas nilang kwento. Alam natin yan. Yung iba, diversionary tactics lang. Pero ang mahalaga, we think before we click. We need to develop critical minds. We need to become well-educated netizens to put an end to bad news, to fake news, and false news. Number 2, help spread good news. Ibig sabihin, spread positivity, good vibes, and the Christian message. Don't hesitate to post inspiring quotes or memes or pictures in the internet. Mag-tweet ka ng mga nakakatuwang messages, nakaka-inspire na messages, because you don't know who will be able to read your inspiring quote. Baka mayroong isang kabataan na nadidepress na pala, di ba? Tapos mababasa yung tweet mo at magkakaroon ng lakas ng loob. And in this aspect, We take inspiration from the parable of the sower. Anong gagawin natin? Maghahasik lang ng maghahasik ng good vibes, ng good news, ng Christian message. Saboy lang ng saboy. Kasi hindi natin alam kaninong puso o kaninong damdamin maipupunla yung binhing iyan. At yung binhing iyan ay tutubo ng malagong-malago. Okay. So help spread good news. Yung iba, hindi na lang personal level, pero nakapag-organize na rin. Kaya, patuloy nating palakasin ang ating social communications ministry sa ating mga parokya at mga organizations. Ngayong panahon ng pandemic, nakita natin yung kapangyarihan ng social media, ng sokong. Dati sa simbahan, binabaliwala yung mga sokong. Pero nung panahon ng ECQ, hindi makakaabot sa mga bahay yung misa kung walang sokong. So strengthen your social media ministry. Organize your telecast of the masses. Organize your catechesis online. Organize your prayers and devotions online. Organize youthful activities online. So punuin natin ang social media and the internet ng gospel message, good news, and good vibes. Pangatlo at panghuli. Grow deep in your relationship with Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the good news Himself. Si Jesus ang mabuting balita. Kaya, kung ang misyon natin ay ipalaganap ang mabuting balita, kailangan lumalim po ang pakikipag-ugnayan natin kay Jesus. Ito ang pinakamahalaga sa lahat. Sabi nga sa Latin, nemo quod non habet. Wow! Latin yan, ha? Nemo quod non habet. You cannot give what you don't have. We need to live Christ so that we could share Christ. Alam nyo, mga kapatid, mga kaibigan, mga minamahal kong kabataan, when we talk about social media and the internet, ang madalas na pinag-uusapan kasi natin, techniques, strategies, no? Ano bang skills ang kailangan kong i-develop? Mahalaga itong mga bagay na ito. Pero mas mahalaga yung mga dispositions na kailangan natin papalaguin at pagtitibayin sa ating kalooban. Kung ang presence natin sa social media at internet ay mission of evangelization, ang unang-una nating kailangang gawin ay pagbabagong buhay, conversion. Yan ang tunay na disposition. We need to form ourselves to become communicative persons. Tayo ba ay dinadaluyan ng good vibes? Kasi hindi lang yung mga bagay, hindi lang yung technique, hindi lang yung strategy, pero tayo. Tayo ba ay communicative persons? Tayo ba ay nagbagong buhay katulad ng Panginoong Jesus? Kasi if we are communicative persons, then the good news will naturally flow into us. Secondary ang techniques, strategies, pati equipment. First of all, and above all else, we need to develop communicative persons. At ang isang communicative person ay mayroong healthy communication spirituality. And this is the basis for all Christian communication. There are three elements of this communication spirituality. Number one, openness to God. You start your communication with an experience of God. This God who communicates to all of us. Openness to self. Authentic ka ba sa mga social media posts mo? O gumagawa ka lang ng filtered image mo? No? Openness to self. Are you authentic? Authenticity is important sa ating communication process. And finally, openness to others. Are you ready to listen to the other person? Not just hear, but listen. Bukas ba yung tenga mo sa iba? Bukas ba yung puso at isipan mo sa iba? If you are ready to listen, then communication will flow. So we need to develop this to become communicative persons by converting ourselves and becoming more and more like Jesus Christ, the true communicator. So these are some of my pointers that I wish to share with you in order to become a more responsible netizen. Needless to say, ang pinakauna sa lahat, dapat nasa internet tayo. Dapat nasa social media tayo. Because we cannot do these three things effectively if we are not present in the digital world where many of the young people are. So my dear friends, thank you very much for your attention. Mula dito sa Don Bosco, Makati, binabati kayo ni Father Julianne ng happy listening. And let's continue our dialogue in this afternoon's webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you po so much, Father Juvenal. We will always remember talaga your words for today. Think before you click, and let's end bad news, fake news, and false news. Yan din po ang motto actually ng Dominus Est. We are a good news, good vibes website that seeks to share our love for the Lord so that we see Christ in every way, every day, and in everything.
Oh, and by the way, tomorrow is the feast of St. John Bosco. So happy feast day po. And to all the Bosconians watching, happy fiesta po to all of you. St. John Bosco is actually the patron saint of publishers and editors, as well. So his feast day is so timely for today's theme of new evangelization in the new normal, where communications plays a very great role.
Speaking of communications, aside from being a mission-centered netizen, we can also learn to become a mission-centered content creator. And who better to talk about creating content for the world and the Lord than TV Maria? We are honored today to have with us Miss Kat Diaz. Miss Kat was a part of the pioneer team of TV Maria. She is currently the station's broadcast traffic manager, meaning she is in charge of the 24/7 programming of TV Maria. She is also the host of Lack Bites, a feature documentary about devotion to churches around the Philippines. And she is also a video editor of other TV Maria shows such as Salita ng Diyos, Salita ng Buhay, and First Things First. Miss Kat has been with TV Maria for 15 years. Grabe po! So here we are. We are so honored to have with us today to talk about how to be a mission-centered content creator, Miss Kat Diaz of TV Maria.
We have the story. We have the heart and passion. We just have to be where the people are. Hi guys! Join me today as we talk about how to be a mission-centered content creator. Now, many of us can easily be a content creator. We can upload just about anything. Our OOTD, our food blogs, or our travels. These are all just content. Yes, they are entertaining. Yes, they can make us hit that share button and let your followers enjoy the content too. But what will make you a Catholic content creator? Sounds like a challenge, right? But hey, we as Catholic communicators have a lot of interesting, inspiring, and powerful content that we can share online. We have the Catholic Catechism, teachings, and values that are all content-worthy. Say the parables. They never go out of date. We can still and will always relate to parables, even in our present time. We just have to be creative in trying to build content out of it. And speaking of building content, we must focus on our brand. If we are doing a content for your parish, you can dig in deeper on the facts about your patron, those that are not known to many. Something like a fun fact post or about your parish community activities that will make the viewer say na, ang sipag naman ng parish, pwede pala magawa yun. And focus on the meaning of your brand. Like us dito sa TV Maria. Bakit TV Maria? Kasi we as Filipino Catholics believe in Mary, Pueblo Amante de Maria, or we are in love with Mary. That makes us distinct from any religions. We are a TV station focusing on our Catholic faith through and with Mary, our Mother. Or kaya, another example, Dominus Est. Bakit kaya yun ang page name nila? Maybe because their page focused on all about the Lord. Kasi Dominus Est means, it is the Lord. Also, we must develop our brand. This one is about building the identity of your brand. Yung pag nakita pa lang nila yung color scheme na ginamit sa fonts or yung photo layout, masasabi na agad na kayo ang gumawa nun. For us again, our color is blue and uses mostly sans serif fonts lang. So most of our contents must have the shade of blue and sans serif fonts. It helps build retention to the followers. Yun nga, this helps a lot to build the retention of your followers. And possibly, invite potential followers pa if they often see it sa post. Kasi alam nyo, at the back of their minds, masasabi nila na, mukhang madaming post to follow ko nga. Kasi na-identify na yung brand nyo, naaalala na nung mata nila kung ano ba yung itsura ng ginagawa ng page ninyo. Another one is, establish your tagline. Meron ba kayong one-liner tagline sa mga contents ninyo na mag-a-identify sa inyo lagi? This one for us, since we are on TV, our station ID is TV Maria, leading you to the fullness of life. Because that's our mission, to lead people to the fullness of life through the content we create and share on TV and also on social media. And we play this each program that we air. If you have one already, it is best na paulit-ulitin nyo yun hanggang makilala na kayo with your tagline. Yung swabing ulit lang wag din naman yung hard sell. Baka iwan din kayo ng followers pag nasobrahan. So, why is content crucial? Kasi this will make or break your brand. We must be very careful in creating contents. Create your objectives in doing your content according to your brand. Your content means engagement, recall, and habit forming. If in the first 30 seconds of your video and your followers don't find it interesting, they will look for another content. If your photo is not well designed, they will easily swipe up and look for something better. This is why it has to be well thought of and well-prepared content. As a content creator, our business is to make it engaging, pleasing to the eyes and ears, and at the same time, it has to make a mark in their memory, enough to pass their standards to be able to hit that share button, and as I said, must be habit-forming. This is a challenge for us Catholic content creators. Kasi paano tayo makikisabay sa mga fun lang na content? Well, yes, I couldn't agree more. Mahirap kaya gumawa ng content na hindi magiging boring o kaya i-break yung stigma na pag about simbahan, pangmatanda o nakakaantok. 'Di ba? Pero that challenge is our mission. Challenge accepted sa atin yan. There are endless possibilities. We just have to think outside of the box and break that stigma to ourselves first before we expect our viewers to break that stigma to themselves. TV Maria po ulit, for example. Our different programs have a specific time of airing on TV and social media. Take Testimony, for example. By the way, I hope you are familiar with our cooking program. If not, please try to check it on our FB page. Going back, Testimony is a cooking show hosted by Father Roy Belen and Father Hans Magdurulang. It is not only about cooking, it is about taste and life testimony. Hence, Testimony. This program airs Saturdays, 10:30 a.m. and after several weeks of airing it on the exact same time every week, we started to gain viewers week by week. The idea of having a cooking show on a Catholic channel made them curious and got hooked to it. That's why, the moment we don't have fresh episodes to post, people will start to message us asking what happened with the program. The clamor of looking for fresh episodes means that our content is engaging and it has recall and it is habit forming. Another example is the latest addition to our in-house programs. Ito, First Things First with Bishop Pabilio. The topic here is about the first reading of the day. It is not common to everyone that the first reading is what the first reading is about. Kasi mostly gospel ang focus, 'di ba? Kaya this one, may nailabas na curiosity sa tao kasi parang bago in the sense na ngayon lang sila pinag-uusapan. Ang target audience for this particular program is those ranging from mid-40s to 60s, but we also made it friendly to the eyes of the younger ones by creating a simple set with a light color para them too can be invited to watch and learn what the program is about. Question: what would be the gauge to be a successful content creator? Yes, there must be more shares, views, and comments on your content. But how? You must decide which platform your content best fits in. If it is a video content, then YouTube or Facebook it is. If it is a photo content, maybe Instagram or Pinterest. If it is in a form of publication or news, Twitter might be an option. Point is, there are several social media platforms that you can choose from. You just have to find your niche where your brand can be relevant and can potentially take the spotlight. Given that you already found your platform, I would suggest that you study and review the best practices of the platform you choose to be in. Reminder lang, they all have different rules to follow. That is why we have to be extra careful and be constantly updated sa guidelines. Si Facebook, medyo lenient sila with the audio copyright. Pero si YouTube, they are very strict about it. Kaya if you choose to use the same platform, follow YouTube's guideline on the use of audio para di ma-call ang attention ninyo and ma-maintain ang good standing with the platform. Now, given na may platform na kayo, study the demographics. In this way, maaaral ninyo ano ba yung effective para sa inyo and to save time and energy in creating contents that is suitable for your given audience. If your audiences are millennials, then your content must be designed for them. Yung content must be acceptable sa age generation nila. Baka kasi mamaya, gagawa tayo ng mga content na gusto nyo. Pero millennials ang target audience nyo. Pero yun pala, ang content nyo, pang seniors. Wag ganun, Mars. Iiwan ka ng followers mo. Kaya study the demographics para matulungan kayo to assess your content. Kapag yan nagawa nyo, Your increased followers and subscription will follow. Kasi natap nyo na yung target audience nyo. Malay nyo, magkaroon din kayo ng acknowledgement. Whether sa platform mismo na ginagamit ninyo. Kasi pag nagkaroon na ng badge, meaning kinikilala na kayo ng platform as a legit source of content. Pwede ding national media. Kapag pinikap na nila ang content na ginawa nyo for news, like for example, during Holy Week, in the time of pandemic, kumukuha ang mga national media ng different sources ng masses. Sa case ng TV Maria, kinuha ng 1PH, Rappler, GMA, and ABS-CBN ang mga mass ni Bishop Pabilio. Tapos, pwede pa natin taas-taasan ang pangarap natin. Pwede din makuha ng international media kapag ginalingan nyo. This happened to us sa TV Maria when we were gaining viewership with our live masses. Shalom World tapped us to seek permission in getting our live feed and air it internationally. If this happens to you, meron na kayong bragging rights na, uy, nag-air na kami internationally ah. Basta, my tip, don't be afraid to try and commit mistakes because those mistakes will only make you better. Don't mind yung mga hate comments or yung mga unnecessary feedbacks. I know, minsan ang hirap patulan yan. Minsan, ang sarap maging keyboard warrior, di ba? Pero bakit pa, di ba? What will make us different pag pinatulan natin sila? Always remember, we are Catholic content creators. So kahit makatanggap tayo ng negative vibes from others, ang tanging maigaganti lang natin sa kanila is to do more and do better. Practice the pause. Think of it this way. As a Catholic content creator, hindi lang basta yung content. Dinadala din ng content niyo and how you manage your page ang values na meron tayo as Catholics. Make it as an avenue to shine as a Catholic creator. Always act with kindness and conscience. Now given, may magandang number ka na ng subscribers. My next advice is to position your page. Here, positioning plays an important role in focusing on your brand. Ano na ba ang forte nyo at this time? Live events ba? Catholic history? Or a Catholic vlogger type of genre? Given that there are lots of content being posted every day, we must try to position our brand very well, to the point na yung page nyo na ang hahanapin kapag ang hinahanap nila is, for example, Bible verses, o kaya naman church history, or church live events. As Catholic content creator, let us all be reminded constantly that we are not here to compete, but to transform lives. And by doing so, let us maximize our space in social media by trying also to collaborate. Collaborate with other content creator. Acknowledging our weaknesses and the strength of others is a good example that we can express in social media. You can make a content na designed both for your brand. In this way, natutulungan nyo pa ang isa't isa na i-promote ang page ninyo. Kasi 'di ba, we don't want naman to bring others down. We try as much as possible to lift each other dapat. Like what we did with the Diocese of Cubao. For our Translation 2021 coverage, TV Maria knows that one of our limitations is news. So, we decided to tap the Diocese of Cubao, headed by Father Herbie Santos, Miss Leahna, and Sir Philip. We collaborated with them to be our correspondent during the event. And by the grace of God, the output of this went very well. It was well prepared and well executed. Thanks to them. And when things are doing well na for your page, para di maging stagnant, do constant promotion. Hindi enough na dahil nabuo na ang habit forming na sinabi ko kanina, titigil na kayo. Dapat may consistent work to promote your content. Example, naka-season 5 na kami ng Testimony. Pero each episode, nilalagyan pa rin namin yun ng teaser. Every so often, it is best to promote what kind of content you have. Or, if you have nothing to post at the moment, do a throwback. Enough to feel that you are still there. Siyempre, di ba, sino ba naman ang gustong biglang iniiwan sa ere? Yung di mo na lang alam kung may iniintay ka ba bang content o wala na. Promote your content, and your followers will do the same. You will have an increased followership slowly. Wag lang kayong mainip, darating din yan. In our program Lakbites, we try to do different types of promotion. One is a vlogger type, on-the-road update so that ma-maintain namin yung format na for younger generation. And we also have the promotion coming from the parish priest involved. Here, this is especially important, having the priest invite the people to watch because not only they get to invite their parishioners, but more so, even other parts of the country, seeing them invite to take a glimpse of their history and church. It is a two-way promotion. One being promotion of the church, and second promotion of TV Maria, since they will be featured and aired both on TV and social media. The next one I'm about to raise, I don't know kung ito rin ba ay isang objective ninyo. Kaya importante din pag-usapan ito with your team. I'm talking about profit. Are you considering your page to be monetized? In Facebook, there are a handful of possibilities for income. There's the Facebook stars, in-stream ads, fan subscription, brand collaboration, etc. Truth be told, malaki ang tulong nito sa atin, especially during this time. Pero you have to talk it over with the priest involved sa page ninyo. Baka kasi may mga dapat kayong i-consider before applying for monetization. But, should you decide to monetize, your contents must always be abiding by the guidelines of the platform, and it also entails proper accounting for transparency. I just hope hindi ito yung maging driving force ninyo in creating contents. Otherwise, kapag ito ang naging focus ninyo, you will end up lost. Kasi balik tayo dun sa una kong sinabi, focus on your brand. Hindi pwedeng you will create more content para you can upload more and monetize more. No! Hindi! Kasi in reality, kahit mag once a month content ka lang, pero napaghandaan yan at napagdasalan, your content will reach more views more than what you expect. 'Di ba? And the last note I'm about to share is that make Jesus as our model in creating contents. Even him used parables and witnessing as his content for preaching. We can also do this in our modern time. The Bible never goes out of date. Only our preaching style can change. And by using our capacity as Catholic content creators, we can unfold a lot about our faith. Let us remain constant in doing Catholic faith-based contents to enrich the awareness of the social media users out there. A big success in doing this is when we have faith-driven administrators. Meet as a team, build your war room, throwing endless ideas and identifying which content is feasible or not. Research on the contents that you think needs to be seen or heard. And lastly, immerse yourself with the Catholic faith. Mahalagang tayo mismo natatransform ng content na ginagawa natin to be able to transform others as well. Sana laging may awe factor yung content ninyo kahit hinahanda nyo pa lang. Kasi this only means you are guided by the Holy Spirit in doing your content. So to end, being a Catholic content creator never goes out of style. It never fades. It is only up to us to create worthwhile contents and share it to the world. Like what we at TV Maria upholds as media evangelizers, we have the story. We have the heart and passion. We just have to be where the people are. TV Maria, leading you to the fullness of life.
Thank you so much, Miss Kat. I'm sure sobrang daming na-inspire to become mission-centered content creators and madami kayong babaunan in being the content creators that we want to be in the future, today, and of course, with the others.
Grabe talaga. Ramdam ko na pro na si Miss Kat sa mga ginagawa niya. If you spend 15 years nga naman doing what you do in the business, you tend to be really good at it na. It's very timely to learn all of this as we approach our grand celebration for 500 years of Christianity, I think. Kasi we would like to encourage all the youth to create your own content. And let's flood the internet with content on our love for the Lord.
But aside from, our own social media posts, blogs, and vlogs, may isa pang very unique na parang specialty na ngayon ng Catholic Church. Thanks to the pandemic, because we were forced to learn how to do this to continue with our masses. And I'm talking about live streaming. So ito, talagang walang cut-cut, diretso na agad. Live streaming has been such a blessing during this time when we were all forced to go into quarantine. We could not physically go to church, but miraculously, the church has brought it into our homes through live streaming. It's been so touching also to know that while we were prevented from physically going to the church, Christ continued to find his way into our homes and into our hearts. And we also continued to find our way back to him. One of the leaders in this live streaming that I'm talking about has been Cubao Media. And this is thanks to the dynamic leadership in communications of Miss Leahna Villajos, who is our next speaker. Miss Leahna, or Yana, as she is known by friends, was a news advocate and reporter for Radio Veritas from 2014 to 2020, and is currently the social media officer of the Diocese of Cubao Social Communications Ministry. She is also a catechist of the Blessed Sacrament Parish, Caipombo in Santa Maria, Bulacan, and a member of their choir. So, let us now listen and learn from Miss Leahna Villajos.
Hello everyone! Una sa lahat, thank you very much for inviting us to be part of this event and to share with you our experiences on church live streaming. Of course, last year 2020, lahat tayo nagulat. Nagulat sa pagpapatigil ng public gatherings and we were forced to stream our masses online. So as a short recap, we have 3 different ways on how to stream masses. Alam na natin yan at napakaganda nung mga development na yan na ginagawa na natin sa ating mga parishes at sa ating diocese. So mag-review lang tayo, no? Ano ba yung mga 3 pamamaraan na ginagawa natin para makapag-stream tayo ng ating banal na misa? So, using cellphone, using video cameras, or using CCTV or PTZ cameras. On using cellphone, we need a smartphone, tripod with cellphone holder, and audio cables. For Android users, we need TRS converters so we can connect the audio from the church sound system to our phone. And for iPhone users, we need iRig. You just have to double-check double-check what iRig is compatible with the model of your iPhone. So, tingnan mabuti dahil maaaring hindi gumana kung hindi yan compatible. Next, using video cams. Using video cams ay matatawag na nating full setup. So, we need video cameras, tripods to mount them, HDMI cables, and take note that if we are using 2 or more cameras, we need to connect them first to the video switcher. So from switcher, we get the video out and connect it to the video capture card, then from capture card to computer. For audio, it is more advisable to use an audio interface. For IP or CCTV cameras naman, hindi na kailangan ng tripod, video cams, at capture card. So we can directly connect the IP cams to your computer. take note lang ha, siguruhin palagi na compatible ang IP or CCTV cameras sa gagamitin nyong streaming software. So there you have it, our review, our recap sa 3 setups na maaaring gamitin for live streaming. Tandaan natin na bukod dito sa ating mga setups, hindi lang naman ito yung kailangan na ihanda natin, yung kailangan na i-prepare natin. So of course, napakahalaga rin na bago tayo sumabak sa live streaming ay yung ating sarili. Paano ba natin inihahanda yung ating sarili kung tayo yung nakatoka na mag-live stream? Prepare graphics that will help the online attendees participate. Example, we can show the responsorial psalm, the Alleluia verse, or the prayer of the faithful. But we have to be very careful very, very careful not to overwhelm the video with graphics. Hindi sobrang laki at hindi na rin halos, lalong napupuno na yung screen ng graphics at natatabunan na yung talagang dapat na ipinapakita. And using special effects to enhance the liturgy artificially, adding effects on the host during the elevation, the incorporation of outside images, this should not be done. We have to respect the liturgy, bring it to the people as it is. Walang palamuti. Remember, we have the responsibility to make them feel that as if they are really part of the Eucharistic celebration. They are not just mere viewers. They are not just spectators that are after the aesthetics of the video. We are not entertaining them with the intergalactic special effects. So we have to make them feel the feast of the Lord. Make them feel that they are part of it. Help them reflect. Help them pray. Gawing presentable ang sarili. Hindi dahil nakaupo at nakatago lang tayo dun sa likod ng computer, hindi na tayo mag-aayos na ating sarili. Remember, we are still servers during the Mass. Hindi man tayo yung servers na kagaya ng mga acolytes o ng mga ministers or ng mga lectors and commentators. We are attending the Mass and we are serving by making it available sa mga taong hindi makakadalo physically. So our movements during the Mass, isa pa yan yung movements natin, minimize the movements as much as we can. Hindi yung nagkakawayan tayo na, game na ba? On air na. May pailaw pa tayo on air. Tapos meron pa tayong placards, look at this camera. So, no. We are making the priests and ministers appear to be actors rather than leaders of public worship. We are not producing a live show. Sana nag-artista ka na lang, kamukha mo naman si Father. Let the liturgy be celebrated naturally. Do not control its flow. We understand na doon sa mga telecast o broadcasted over the radio na limited yung time, limited yung kanilang airtime. Pero kung mapapansin ninyo sa kanila, sila yung nag-a-adjust. Ina-adjust nila yung kanilang programming dahil itong ating highest form of worship ay binibigyan ng talaga namang ganong klaseng pagpapahalaga. Kaya tayo yung mag-a-adjust sa kanila. Hindi ito yung i-a-adjust natin para sa atin. And we should also remember that as much as we can, we should broadcast the Mass live, in real time. We acknowledge that there are still many debates on the Masses that are shown online, but let us leave that to those concerned or to those assigned on that. Let us remember that the Masses online, this virtual Mass, cannot replace the real celebration, the real attendance of the people. So we still encourage the people to go to the churches, strictly follow the protocols. But for those who really cannot go physically for some reasons, the social communications people will be here to perhaps be an aid to your thirst and hunger to hear God's word. As an end, let us all remind ourselves, our team, our friends in the ministry, our companions, live streaming of Masses is not an online exhibition of how good our team is or how advanced our gadgets are. No matter how good or how advanced we are, mawawalan yon ng kwenta kung hindi nararamdaman nung tao sa kabilang screen yung dapat na ipaabot natin sa kanila. Let us look at ourselves. Let us look at our team and ask, what is my mission? What is our mission?
Thank you so much, Miss Leahna. I like the balance between, being prepared, most especially sa live stream, but at the same time, finding that limit to the point na hindi magmumukhang stage na yung pinapresent mo. So we hope this encourages live streaming not only in parishes, but also in youth orgs or even in each one of us.
Baka from the talk ni Miss Yana, magkaroon tayo ng mga bagong influencers in Christ.
Tama, kasi this reminds me then of our friends from the Archdiocese of Manila, Commission on Youth, ACY, because they have live productions every single day. Kasi meron silang YTV, Youth TV, Your TV. Maybe we can explore having each diocese have their own youth shows that they can also live stream to make our online community of faith louder and stronger.
That's true. Let's just keep creating content for the Lord. So if you have any questions for our panelists, we will be opening the floor in a short while to questions. Please think of your questions now, and please type your questions in the comment box. Then me, as your host, will ask the speakers your questions for you. So sa comment box lang, guys.
While you write your questions, again, we highly encourage you that you do. While we gather them, let's listen first to this beautiful song from the Archdiocese of Manila, Commission on Youth, performed by the Catholic Youth Organization of Santa Clara de Montefalco Parish, Pasay.
Joseph, let us go this way.
Mary,
There he is! I see him! Excuse me.
Morning comes and I must go. Day is breaking yonder. After all the places I have been, now I'm going home. I have been to seek the sky. and nothing remains. I am lost to stay. Love is the answer to so many questions. Now I know, and I stop wandering. Love is the meaning to our earth, is the meaning to our earth. I see the answer now. Love is eternal, love is real. I see the answer now. Love is the answer.
Thank you so much for the beautiful song, ACY Manila, and the Catholic Youth Organization of Santa Clara de Montefalco Parish in Pasay.
We also want to shout out a big thank you to Father Jade Licuanan, Director of the Archdiocese of Manila Commission on Youth.
Shout out then to our friends in ACY Manila. Please watch their daily program, YTV, UTV, Your TV. And Father Jade, hello po from group chat!
So now, may we call back our speakers, Father Julianne, Miss Kat, and Miss Leahna for our question and answer portion.
So the first question po is from Krisha Jane and Tai from the Diocese of Iligan. This is not direct. I don't know who it is directed to, so I think anyone can answer po. What is usually the best time or preferable time to post contents for young targeted viewers?
Ako muna sasagot. Okay. Ano po? Sa akin, since yung sa young viewers, ano ba yung parang viewing habits ng young people? Sa time natin ngayon, nasa around 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Medyo panggabi kasi ang youth. So, mostly, during around that time, yun yung best time na pwede kang mag-post ng mga contents. Pero still not flooding. Parang makakapag-post ka doon. Pero pag younger pa, as in teens, usually nasa mga 4 p.m. to 6, pwede ka nang mag-post doon. Hindi kasi siya nalalayo dun sa kapag gumagawa ka ng programming for TV, line-up. Pwede mo siyang iparallel sa ganong klaseng programming din on social media. So it also depends sa viewing habits ng younger generation.
Maybe your other speakers po also have something to say, Father?
Ako, mag-a-agree ako dun sa sinabi ni Miss Kat. Parang sa experience din namin, yun, mga bandang 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, the young people are already very much engaged during that time. Pero habang paggabi, interestingly, lalo na yung mga kabataan sa mga cities ay buhay na buhay. Parang ang daming ganap sa social media habang paggabi. So siguro kung target nyo ay young people, during that time you can experiment on posting. Ang gusto kong i-share, ito yung common experience. Pero habang nagmamanage kayo ng mga pages ninyo or whatever account sa social media, makikita nyo yung trends or data from your own followers. So i-check nyo yun kung anong oras ba talaga nagre-respond at nag-i-involve yung mga sarili nyong followers. And you'll have the hang of it habang patuloy kayong nagke-create at nagpo-post ng content. Yun. Thank you.
Thank you, Father. Miss Leahna po, may follow-up po ba?
To add lang po doon sa sinabi ni Miss Kat and ni Father, yun nga po, i-double check yung analytics ng page. Kasi dito sa analytics, yun po yung sinasabi ni Father na makikita natin yung activity ng mga followers natin, kung ano yung mga, doon din makikita kung ano ba yung mga gustong klase nilang post. Kung halimbawa marami tayong iba't ibang post, mas nagustuhan ba nila itong quote of the day natin or itong video natin, makikita natin po doon lahat sa analytics and kung anong oras sila mas mga nag-i-interact, yung mga ganun po. So, yun po. Tama si Father and si Miss Kat, pag-aralan natin yung Facebook page natin and para mas magamay natin kung ano yung gusto ng followers natin at yun yung mabibigay natin sa kanila.
Okay, thank you po, Ms. Kat. We have another question here from Genevieve Garcia from the Archdiocese of Manila. This is for Father Julianne. Sabi ni Ms. Genevieve, sometimes there are people who attack the Catholic Church or our priests and bishops online, and it makes us so angry daw. Some say we should just let them be. But of course, we want to defend our faith. What is your advice daw po on how we should react as, like you said, mission-centered netizens? Father Julianne?
Maganda yung sinabi ni Miss Kate nung nagtotalk siya. Dapat hindi natin pinapatulan yung mga negative vibes na ganyan. I suggest that we continue to hold on and really stand firm in our faith. That is what we are called to do. Pero wag nating hayaan na yung social media ay maging lugar or venue ng pagkakaroon ng mga away at hidwaan. I'm actually holding with me right now yung Fratelli Tutti. This is the latest encyclical of Pope Francis na sinulat lang niya last year, 2020. At gusto kong i-share sa inyo na mayroong isang number dito, number 205, na specifically nagtatakel ng social media, ng presence natin sa social media. And as always, as has always been emphasized by Pope Francis, dapat sa social media, mangyayari yung mga tinatawag nating human encounters. So hopefully, the social media could become a tool for human encounters, for building relationships, building communion, promoting human solidarity. Not hate, not fighting, pero communion. So, example, may nangaaway sa simbahang Katoliko. I think if you are peaceful enough, no, and you are confident enough, you can engage that person nang hindi mo siya inaaway. Pag napapansin mo na yung tono ng pagsasalita mo ay parang nangaaway na, maybe you should pause for a while and pray a bit so that your experience in the social media could lead to communion, genuine human encounter, and solidarity. Yan yung insight ko. Thank you.
Thank you po, Father. There's another question po. This is for Miss Kat Diaz of TV Maria. Miss Kat, we are thinking of, from Cel Franco from the Diocese of Malolos. We are thinking of creating a show for our parish Facebook. Will you recommend that we do this or is it too ambitious?
Nothing is too ambitious. Basta gawa ng content nyo. As long as yung content nyo nga nakafocus dun sa parish ninyo. Huwag kayo lalabas dun sa all about your parish kasi yun yung importante eh. Kaya walang ambitious dun. Basta maging prepared lang kayo, paghandaan nyo as a team, pag-usapan nyo, magkaroon kayo ng mga discussions kung ano ba talaga yung magiging fit na type of production ang pwede sa inyo. Tapos, try lang lagi. Don't be afraid na magkamali kayo. At first, okay lang yon. Baka at first, hindi maging okay yung production na gagawin nyo. Hindi siya maging okay dun sa followers nyo. And then, move on tayo. Try kayo gumawa ng another production na pwede naman pala na mas kakagatin ng ng followers nyo. Thank you.
Thank you po, Miss Kat. We have another question for you po from Pip Sabroso of Diocese of Malolos. So, is it possible for us to ask TV Maria for help for our social communications teams or orgs that are just starting out?
Opo naman, sure. Pwede nyo po kaming kontakin sa aming page. Actually, ako din ang sasagot dun sa inyo. So, kontakin nyo lang kami doon. And or sa namin, sa landline and email, feel free to contact us and we'll be glad to help.
All right, there we go. Instant resource person si Miss Kat.
Okay lang yun.
Popular po. Pero we have another question now for Miss Leahna naman to. This is from Kevin Manlapig from the Diocese of Parañaque, represent. Sabi niya, we are starting an online show for 500 years of Christianity. Sorry daw if this is a technical question, but would you recommend just a regular FB Live or StreamYard or OBS daw?
So, for regular FB Live po, I think yung best talaga na mai-recommend namin sana is yung vMix. Yan. Pero kung yun nga, meron kasi tayong limitation sa vMix na kailangan nating after 60 days, kailangan nag-end yung trial kay vMix. So, okay din si OBS. So, yun po yung second. So, first na nire-recommend namin for live streaming is vMix. Then, second, si OBS. But you can try naman po yung iba pang mga streaming softwares. Marami ng mga bagong streaming softwares ngayon. And we admit, hindi pa rin namin na-explore yon kasi loyalist kami ni vMix. Pero yun po, yung iba, like yung Prism Live Studio, yan po, upgraded na yung ibang mga features nun. Para siyang upgraded na OBS, yung type na yun. So, pwede nyo rin pong explore yan.
Thank you po. We also have another question from Philip John Tababa from the Archdiocese of Cotabato. This is for everyone po. One of the wonderful gifts God has provided to help young people during this pandemic is to utilize their skills and talent in order to help the church in spreading the message of God. What is the example of content that you can give to a youth organization who has the objective of encouraging young people to actively participate in church activities? Baka po si anyone po.
Ako po, okay lang po. Best example of content po, yung YTV ng Archdiocese of Manila. Kasi makikita natin dito yung talagang active participation ng youth. Nakakatuwa nga po kasi nakikita ko yung mga Facebook posts na we are looking for volunteer researchers, volunteer writers, volunteer editors. So we are igniting the fire in them to become volunteers to share their expertise sa ating simbahan. And syempre, kapag nakita nila na ganito kasi yung mga nakalagay, of course, automatic, pag nakita nila na editors, ganyan, automatic may isip na natin na younger ones, yung kayang-kaya ito, talagang younger ones, yung very active and energetic pagdating dito. So, yun yung isang ine-recommend natin na magandang example ng content for youth organization.
Ako, Philip, thank you sa... Ay, si Miss Kat. Sige po, you want to answer?
Okay, you go first, Father.
Okay, sige. Thank you, Miss Kat. Philip, thank you for your question. At talagang I agree na yung mga kabataan ay nangunguna ngayon sa panahon ng pandemic sa social media ministry natin. Yung tanong mo, gusto kong ibalik din yung tanong sa'yo kasi ang bibigay ko principle. Yung mga magagandang projects, combination ng dalawang bagay. Una, alamin nyo ano yung mga skills at talents sa mga kabataan na kasama nyo. Ano yung mga interest nyo? So when making a program or deciding on content, siguro, tanongin nyo muna yung sarili nyo, ano bang gusto kong gawin? Ano yung mga alam kong gawin? Saan ako mahilig? Ano yung mga skills ko? And that is one important factor to consider. Kasi if you like, these are the things that you like. Halimbawa, catechesis or liturgy, kung alin yung gusto nyo, di interested kayo. You will have the passion to do it and to continue doing it. Madali magsimula ng isang project, mas mahirap i-sustain ng isang project. So, your passion is something very important. Pangalawa, na dapat i-consider ay ano yung needs ng parish nyo or diocese nyo or ng lugar kung nasaan kayo. Kasi that will also determine the relevance of your project. So kung ano yung kailangan nila, if you feel that in your parish or in your diocese ay kailangan ng catechesis, then maybe that could be a good content for your program. Halimbawa, kailangan nyo apologetics dahil ang daming kabataan hindi alam yung isasagot sa mga ibang relihiyon or ibang mga Christian denominations. Then you could embark on a project ng apologetics online. So I want to say that it's a combination of two factors, your interests and passions and the needs of your community.
Ako po, susundan ko yung sinabi ni Father naman. Almost the same. For me naman, tanungin nyo din yung, ano ba yung trend? Let's say, yung trend ng youth. Kasi if it is, yung music ba, yun yung nagbibigay sa inyo ng chill factor? Yun ba yung nagbibigay, yun ba yung parang nakaka-connect kayo? Then pwede kayo gumawa ng something like a music program na, I think yung YTV meron nun may ganong segment. Yung meron kayong may kumakanta and then you discuss something about the song na mag-help deepen our faith. Meron kaming ganong program, yung Tambayan. Ganon din yung ginagawa namin. May songs, tapos i-discuss namin yung lyrics ng songs. Need not to be yung mga Catholic songs lang. Kahit yung mga commercialized songs, pwede yun kasi may nakikita tayong meaning sa mga kanta. So, meron kayong mailalabas na panibagong mukha sa mga kanta. So kung yun yung gusto nyong itakal, go. Meron naman if you want to inspire the youth, pwede kayong gumawa ng inspiring pero hindi boring na program. For example, yung sa amin, meron kaming program na Ito Ang Kwento Ko. But this is about yung mga youth na merong inspiring stories simula nung sila mas bata. And how did they parang connect with the church? Nilalabas namin yun para siyang magazine format na program. So sila mismo yun, ni-interview namin sila and then pinapakita namin yung realities of life nila. Mas magaan sa mata ng youth kasi youth din mismo yung nagsasalita. So yung mga ganong programs, pwede nyong gawin. So kung ano ba yung talagang papatok sa inyo, yun yung pinakamagandang magawa.
Thank you po, Ms. Kat and Father Julianne. So, we have the next question naman po from, oh no, I hope I'm mentioning this correctly. Ephraim Quadra from Mindoro. Sorry po kung mali yung pag-pronounce ko ng pangalan niyo. This question is for the three of you po. So, ini-mini-mini muna lang po ulit kung sino mauuna. What were the challenges that you faced when you were starting out? So, for example, ito nga po, sinabi niya, we don't have much funds. Kung nakaka-relate po kayo, ano rin po yung tips na mabibigay niyo po doon? Go ahead po, Ms. Kat.
Sa amin, ang pinaka naging challenge, unang-una is yung sa technicalities yung nag-start kami 15 years ago, wala pang masyadong wala pang ganitong mga gamit. Yung pag-aaral dun sa mga gamit and how to use it properly, unang-una, yun yung naging problem namin. Pero hindi kami nagpa-defeat dun sa challenge na hindi namin alam yung mga gamit na yon dahil ano ba tawag dito, hindi kami nagpatalo na, ay, pang broadcasting to, hindi natin alam. Hindi ganon. Hindi dapat ganon yung ano nyo, yung atake nyo doon. Dapat, binigay sa amin ni Lord tong gamit na to para magamit properly. So, pag-aralan natin. So, yun, yung mga ganong technical. Then, nung nagkaroon na ng mga streaming, nag-trial and error din kami sa streaming. Nakailang beses kaming pabagsak-bagsak yung mga live namin. Before namin yan na perfect, yung mga live masses namin. Ang dami naming fails and ang dami naming mga negative comments na natanggap dahil dun sa mga gano'n namin. Pero hindi kami nagpa-intimidate sa mga ganong mga klase ng reactions. Kasi nga, try lang kayo ng try hanggang magawa nyo yung pinaka-perfect at saka yung mas mabibigay nyo yung pinaka-objective nyo na program. Try nyo lang kahit magkamali kayo. So, ganun yung lagi naming ginagawa dito sa office. Tapos, yung pagkakaroon ng content, kailangan ng maraming utak para gumawa ng maraming contents na magiging applicable sa type of audience na hinahanap nyo. Kasi kami iba-iba eh. Hindi kami nakafocus sa youth lang. Hindi kami nakafocus sa mga seniors lang. Mga ganon. Hindi kami nakafocus sa live lang. So, crucial yung magkaroon kayo ng brainstorming on each program. Kaya yung mga ganun dapat open lagi. Yung sinabi ni Father ng openness, yung sa sinabi niya sa talk, totoo yun. Kailangan talaga lagi tayong open sa mga possibilities na pwede nating gawin at obstacles along the way habang ginagawa yung mga yun. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Kat. Miss Leahna, ladies first daw po muna.
Sige po. So, nung nag-start po kami, ang unang-una talaga, isa sa mga sinasabi din sa amin ng mga parishes under the diocese is internet. Number 1 yan. Feeling ko lahat naman tayo, kahit na saang bahagi ng Pilipinas, problema ng buong Pilipinas yung internet. So, yon. Pero, as time goes, talagang mag-i-invest tayo, gagawa natin ng paraan. Kumbaga, hindi tayo magpapadefeat lang dito. So, pangalawa, yung skills. Hindi naman automatic, kagaya ng sinabi ni Miss Kat, hindi naman automatic lahat magaling agad or lahat marunong agad. So, we learn, yung skills ay natututunan yan. Ang mahalaga ay gusto natin, yung gagawin natin, at willing tayo na matutunan itong certain skills na to. For example, yung skills na kailangan natin for live streaming or yung skills na kailangan natin for creating content. Very fortunate tayong mga youth ngayon kasi ang daming available na research materials that we can read or we can watch over the internet to learn itong mga specific skills na kinakailangan natin at gusto natin. Ang dami ng mga tutorials na mapapanood sa YouTube or mababasa over the internet. So yan, yung mga tips na pwede natin gawin to enhance our skills. Tapos pangalawa, pangatlo na pala, gadgets. Ayan, isa din to sa talagang problema ng marami sa atin or let's say ng mga simbahan kasi umaasa tayo sa donations, ganyan. So, gadgets. And dahil dito, mas nakakatuwa na naging creative, resourceful yung ating mga social communications members or yung ating mga youth, naging resourceful na wala tayong magandang camera, wala tayong ganito, ganyan, o kung ano lang yung meron tayo, yun yung gagamitin natin at i-maximize natin yung use ng mga available gadgets natin or available resources natin. So, napakaganda na flexible and resourceful yung ating mga youth. And pang-apat na na-experience namin is manpower. Kasi kami sa diocese, nung nag-pandemic, 2 lang po kami. Ambitious kami, kagaya sabi nga din ni Miss Kat, walang masamang maging ambitious talaga. Gusto namin, marami kaming anggulo sa misa. Gusto namin dagdagan yung cameras namin, pero kulang din yung cameras namin, so nag-cellphone kami. Pero kulang din kami sa manpower, 2 lang kami. Sino hahawak ng ibang camera? So, gusto namin may mga creative shots din kami, parang sa mga TV, yung may mga zoom in, zoom out, panning, ganyan. Wala ngang hahawak ng camera. So, gumawa kami ng paraan, kumuha kami ng mga video rolls or mga recorded na mga creative shots para ma-meet yung gusto namin. Kasi nga kulang kami sa manpower. So, yun yung mga usual na experience natin na mga simple problems lang naman na sa pagiging resourceful, creative, at flexible ay I'm very sure kayang-kaya nyo din yan.
So, Father?
Ang gagaling ng mga kasama ko talagang sulit na sulit. Kahit ako napapa-take down notes. So thank you Miss Kat and Miss Leahna. Ang i-share ko po siguro yung pinakauna naming difficulty at siguro ito yung pinakamabigat, yung sa simulang-simula on the part of many youth ministry settings. Nung nag-pandemic, ang pinakamalaki naming problema, hindi namin alam kung anong gagawin. Yung parang blanco, hindi talaga namin alam ang gagawin. Diba? Nagpaplano kami ng pang Holy Week, pang Lent, tapos all of a sudden quarantine. And we didn't know what to do. Ang nangyari nun, for a few days, even parang 1 week nga yun, nag-pause lang kami. Hindi namin alam ang gagawin. And then we embarked on little projects. Sabi namin mag-experiment tayo. Let's be present in the social media. At yun, nung nagkaroon kami ng tapang to be present, to begin the apostolate, even if we don't feel prepared or qualified, then that started the ball rolling. Yung problema ng equipment, lumitaw na. Pero dahil nandun na kami, hanapan namin ng solusyon. Yung problema ng skills, lumitaw. Pero dahil nandun na kami, hanapan na lang ng solusyon. Tapang na lang. And what also helped us was yung sinabi ko nga, openness. Nakikita namin yung mga program ng ibang mga youth ministry setting. Tapos hindi namin yung tinitignan as competition, pero as encouragement to do better. So halimbawa, yung Tarlac, ganito na, ang ganda na ng video quality nila. So may message namin yung Tarlac, ano bang nangyayari sa inyo dyan? Then they will give the advice. Yung ganon. So in the end, little by little, our youth ministry settings were able to adapt to the new normal situation.
Thank you so much po for your answers. And I'm sure madaming natutunan from your experiences din po yung mga youth delegates natin and of course our online viewers. And madami pa po tayong questions for you guys. So this one is from Cristel Pedrosa from the Archdiocese of Palo. This is for Miss Leahna. We have youth ministries that are in charge of live streaming shows, but the ministries are limited by their equipment. If we are to use only an Android phone, what would be the minimum requirement in terms of megapixels and what would be a work around to capture good audio?
Android phone, minimum na natin yung 5 megapixels, and then for audio, yun yung nabanggit natin kanina na yung kailangan natin ng TRS converter kasi etong cellphone natin, ano lang siya, kumbaga parang multiple yung port netong ating cellphone. So kailangan natin ng TRS converter para kumbaga mahahati siya, magkakaroon nung for microphone and magkakaroon nung for headphone. So ang kailangan natin is yung for microphone para i-connect natin from audio mixer ng simbahan, ng parish. I-connect natin yon through audio cable. So iba-iba, tingnan nyo yung parish nyo kung ano yung mixer doon. So yung iba ang out nila is yung XLR or yung iba naman ang out nila is yung PL. So i-check nyo muna kung ano yung mixer sa simbahan. And then pag na-check nyo na, so yun, kailangan natin mag-acquire ng audio cable. And then audio cable yung medyo mataba yun usually. So kailangan ng converter para doon sa cellphone, which is yung sinasabi kong TRS. So yun yung maganda para sa audio kung magda-live tayo na ang gamit ay cellphone. Pero in case na wala tayo nitong mga halimbawa yung sinabi ko audio cable or yung TRS converter, pwede din na magamit natin is yung headphones ng cellphone natin. Tapos ikabit na lang natin sa pinakamalapit na speaker. So yun yung sana last na option na natin yun, na yung headphone ididikit sa speaker kasi para ma-minimize natin yung echo. Kasi kapag sagap lang siya ng cellphone, di ba ma-echo? Tapos hindi na natin maintindihan halos yung salita sa misa, yung humili ng pare. So yun. So maganda na meron tayong TRS, audio cable, or last option natin is yung headphones, yung headphones sa cellphone. Pero kung halimbawa naman na meron naman kayong laptop, pwede rin gumamit ng OBS. Yan, yung OBS yung streaming software natin. And then from OBS, i-connect natin yung ating Android phone through app. Yan, yung mga app na makikita natin sa tawag dito sa Play Store. Yan, yung NDI na app for from Play Store. So yun. NDI Tech, New Tech NDI or kaya NDI Technology. Yan. I-open nyo lang yon, tapos kailangan merong isang Wi-Fi na magka-connect yung laptop. Yan, same network Wi-Fi na magka-connect yung laptop and yung cellphone. Tapos i-open nyo yung NDI na app, tapos babasahin na siya sa OBS. Yan, mai-input nyo na siya sa OBS.
Thank you, Miss Leahna. Meron rin akong isang question, pero related rin siya sa sa question ni Renee. I mean, na binasa ni Renee. So, this is from Jovan Calbayog, from the diocese, tapos si Mark Giovanni Balcol. I'm so sorry. Ang hirap ng mga pangalan niyo. Sorry. But this is directed to Miss Kat and Miss Leahna. Siguro si Miss Kat na lang po muna and then si Miss Leahna. So ano po yung software na pwedeng gamitin sa PC in video editing? And as well as, kunyari kung walang laptop, pag sa Android, meron rin po ba kayong may recommend for video editing?
For video editing, for Windows, ang best option would be yung sa Adobe Premiere. Yun na yung best option yun na magagamit. Kasi si Adobe naman, madami siyang yung mga kasama pa niya mga products na pwede nyo na rin gamitin. Pero kung Mac user kayo, si Final Cut. Kapag naman sa mobile phone, ang ginagamit namin, pero kasi more on vlogging, for vlogging lang siya, yung mga tag dito. Ano nga ba yung Filmora and I forgot the other one. VlogU yung ginagamit namin. Pero yun nga, more on for vlogging lang siya. Hindi siya pang mahaba ang editing type.
Thank you po, Miss Kat. Miss Leahna?
Same lang po. I-add ko lang yung isa pa na medyo user-friendly din. Though, first option natin, yung sinabi ni Miss Kat. And then, second option lang, yung Power Director naman. Meron din siya sa computer at meron din siya sa cellphone. For for Android and for iOS.
Right, thank you po, Miss Kat and Miss Leahna. This is a question naman for Father Julianne. This is from Jason Sescon from the Diocese of Sorsogon. Sabi niya, Father, our priests now have to be media savvy also. Since you are a priest and an expert in communications, what would you advise to priests who are not tech savvy or for maybe parishes in far areas that cannot afford the high-tech equipment?
Okay. Thank you for the question. Para sa mga kapatid kong pare, siguro yung unang-una, to really develop that communication spirituality. that I was talking about earlier. Mahalaga yung disposition po natin bilang mga pari, bilang mga Katoliko, kasi kung communicative persons tayo and we have a healthy communication spirituality, the messages would naturally flow through us. So yun yung unang-una sa lahat. Pangalawa, dun sa mga medyo bata, maging matapang lang kayo to start engaging, being present in the social media, at madali naman siguro sa inyo na maka-navigate sa digital continent. Kasi lalo na kung millennial pa yung pare, kayang-kaya naman mag-adapt. Ang medyo challenging siguro ay yung mga mas senior na pare na sa palagay ko, mas madali sa kanila kung magsisimula sila by asking the help of their young people from the parish. Yun. So, kung sino yung mga kabataan sa parokya, siguro, be humble lang na humingi ng tulong. And for sure, yung mga kabataan naman would be more than willing to help them and to guide them in this digital environment. So, kung kaya na nila, then they could continue their online ministry. Pero kung hindi nila kaya, very possible talaga yung SOCOM team ng parish or ng diocese na bubuuin ng mga kabataan that will help the priest communicate his message. So mayroong mensahe si Father, pero yung mga kabataan yung bubuo ng branding ni Father, magde-design ng mga color, ng video angle, and that will be a great help for the elderly priest.
Thank you, Father Julianne. Just a little comment nga, no? Sila, yung mga priests nga rin, minsan sila pa yung, sa kanila nga nanggaling yung initiative na mag-livestream ng Mass, knowing nga na our parishioners can't, personally go to the church. So, little by little, nai-introduce na rin sa kanila yung importance rin ng technology sa Catholic faith. Okay, now moving on to the question. This one is addressed to everyone. So we'll start na lang rin po with Miss Kat, and then Miss Leahna, and then Father Juvenal. So this came from Rome Castillo, Diocese of Antipolo. Do you have book recommendations that we can use, not just as a reference for content, but will also help us be an effective online missionary po?
Asa ko, hindi ako nagbabasa ng libro. Hindi. Medyo totoo din yung sinabi ko. Kasi ako, nag-aaral ako online. So, usually, guilty ako doon na YouTube. YouTube School of University ako nag-aaral. So, medyo hindi ako makasagot ng particular book. Sorry.
Okay lang po, Miss, kasi kami rin. Ako personally. So, siguro anyone na lang po who has a book recommendation. Miss Leahna or Father Juvenal?
Ako po. Before kasi, we studied media literacy education under Pauline's Institute of Communications in Asia. So, marirecommend ko yung mga books nila doon. Meron silang, chinek ko ulit yung email ko kung ano yung mga books na pinapabasa nila sa amin. Ito yung Ethics in Communication. Yun, maganda talaga. Kompleto kasi siya, natackle niya yung about sa education, sa politics, sa youth, yung mga ganyan, makikita natin doon. Tapos, makikita natin kung paano ba mas magiging effective communicator tayo na hindi lang basta tanggap ng mga nakikita natin from the media, yung binibigay sa atin ng media, kundi nagiging very, kumbaga parang mapanuri, sobrang mapanuri. Yun yung itinuturo nitong book na yon, yung Ethics in Communication. Yan po. So, yun po yung isang ma-recommend ko. Tapos, yun nga, YouTube Academy. Yung YouTube Academy, ayan, maka-YouTube din kasi kami. Meron din po akong tutorials, vlogs sa YouTube ng mga iba't ibang live streaming setup natin. At pati yung detailed nung live streaming setups na sinabi ko kanina, yung tatlo, yung cellphone, full setup ng video cam and yung CCTV. Yan, yung mga ganun pa, meron po akong tutorial sa YouTube. And yun lang po, basa-basa lang, nood-nood lang, tiyaga lang talaga.
Thank you po, Ms. Leahna. So taking note as well of the ethics in communication and highlighting rin YouTube. So, Father Julianne?
YouTube talaga. YouTube. Pero kung books, depende. Like, if you want something very solid on church communication, I recommend the books of the late Father Eilers. I think that's a must-read for serious church practitioners in the field of social communications. Ang daming libro po ni Father Franz Joseph Eilers. He's an SVD German priest who died just recently. At siya talaga yung authority natin sa communication sa Pilipinas. I think he was the one who instituted parang Department of Communication sa UST. Parang ganun. A particular course on church communication. So kung serious ang gusto nyo, please read the books of Father Joseph Eilers. Kung medyo light lang, I recommend the book of Brandon Vaught, na follower ni Bishop Barron, The Church and New Media. So very, very possible yon, mas light reading yon kaysa sa mga libro po ni Father Eilers. Pero kung hindi naman libro at mga sites, I also recommend YouTube kay Bishop Barron. Ang dami pong mga videos ni Bishop Barron on new evangelization in media. Pakinggan nyo lang siya, marami na kayong matutunan. And last recommendation, website, Pro Church Tools. Na-surprise ako sa kanila kasi ang ganda ng vision nila for media communication sa church ministry. So, yung website po nila ay Pro Church Tools. I-google nyo lang, mahanap nyo yun.
Thank you po sa Father Juvenal, Ms. Kat, and Ms. Leahna. I have to confess, ako rin ay naka-enroll sa YouTube University kasi ang dami po talagang resources. Pero it's nice to know that we also have non-YouTube resources. Yes, Ms. Kat.
Babawi ako.
Opo.
Siyempre, pinaka-importante yung yung mga WorldCom messages ni Pope. Di ba, yearly meron yun. So, yun, binabasa ko yun.
Bawi, swak na swak. Tama po. Galing po si Pope Francis sa sa communications kasi. Alright.
Pwede magdadagdag ako kay Miss Kat kasi sabi niya yung World Communication Messages. Surprisingly, one of the best messages na nabasa ko sa World Communications ay sinulat ni Pope Benedict, 2013. Yung social media as portals of truth. You might want to look into that. And nakaka-surprise kasi ang tanda na ni Pope Benedict at that time, and he was already weak at that time, pero he gave us a very insightful message noong 2013. So you might want to look that up. Thank you.
Thank you po, Father Julianne. Patapos na po tayo, no? So we have the next few questions na lang. This is directed to Ms. Kat. This is from Ms. Leah Dasiga naman po of the ECY Secretariat. Kavibe. Sabi po ni Ms. Leah, what do you think about the possibility of parishes, youth groups, and other communities which intend to create mission-inspired content for social media? How can they be supported now by the Diocesan Social Communications Ministry where they belong? Or maybe a regional clustering of Diocesan Social Communications Ministries po? Ms. Kat?
Si Miss Leah, if I'm not mistaken, sa Archdiocese of Manila, no? Meron tayong, si Father Roy Billien, si Monsignor Clem, meron tayo nung Office of Social, AOC, sa, meron silang social communications na nagbibigay sila per vicariate ng mga talks, I think, about sa social communication. So, I think monthly nila ginagawa yun. Parang maganda siguro maganda na ma-involve yung mga parishes dun sa mga ganong activities para din maging united yung mga contents na pwede nating ma-create out of it, yung sa mga nadidiscuss nila sa kanilang mga monthly meetings ng mga per-vicariate social communications ministry ng mga parishes. So, sa tingin ko yung mga ganun, importanteng mapuntahan, ma-attendan at lagi kayong maging present para yung common yung ano natin, yung pagkakaintindi at saka kung ano ba talaga yung kailangan nating i-address na mga content sa now. Yun.
Thank you po, Miss Kat. And bago po tayo pumunta sa last question na po natin, gusto ko lang po mag-hi kay Sister Vanessa O.P. Prelature of Isabela D. Basilan. Sabi po niya, thank you, Miss Kat. Galing since Real Talk. And speaking of Miss Kat, para sa inyo po itong last question ulit. So this is from Jamil Fitalvero of the Archdiocese of San Fernando. Sana po tama yung pagkabasa ko ng name nyo. I'm so sorry. Ang tanong po niya is, how frequent shall we post social media contents given that too much postings could result to page unfollowers? Is there a way that we could avoid this?
Yun nga, huwag niyong i-flood yung posting nyo. Yun yung isang importante. Do not flood. Tapos, kapag nalaman nyo na yung analytics nung page nyo, malalaman nyo dun kasi yung time na best time, kung ano yung peak time nyo. Yun yung best time to post. Siguro give it an hour or two before you post another one. Para enough to circulate yung first post nyo. Para in that way, may breather yung mga posts nyo Pag post nyo, masicirculate nyo siya, you can share it to other groups, other pages, and then may rest time siya, 2 hours siguro, ganyan. Post na kayo ng another content. Siguro ganun, okay na yung mga ganong posting. In a day, siguro 4 posts. Sa amin medyo ganun lang kami mag-post. 4 posts is enough para ma-circulate. 4 to 5, enough na yun para 24 hours mag-circulate na yun. Yun. Thank you!
Thank you, Ms. Kat. And that wraps up our Q&A. So thank you so much to our speakers, Father Julianne Samnia, Ms. Kat Diaz, and Ms. Leahna Villajos. This has been a very enlightening afternoon for all of us.
Thank you also to all our delegates who asked questions. Of course, we have a few reminders now. To those in the Zoom, please stay until the end because we will take a group picture for our memories for this first ever G webinar for Mission.
Before we end our program and give our yes or our G to Mission, let's first listen to Bishop Socrates Messiona, Chairman of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Mission, for his final remarks. Bishop Soc Messiona is actually also working with Cardinal Tagle as a member of the Congregation for the Evangelization of Peoples, of which Cardinal Tagle is the head in Rome. He is also the Bishop of the Apostolic Vicariate of Puerto Princesa. So from Manila, tungo naman tayo ngayon to Puerto Princesa for Bishop Soc Missiona's remarks and final blessing.
Ayan, ang ganda ng ating talakayan. Malaki ang ating pag-asa para sa mga kabataan para matugunan natin ang tawag ng Jesus para sa misyon. Kaya ako po si Bishop Soc Messiona ng Episcopal Commission on Mission ng CBCP ay taos puso nagpapasalamat unang-una kay Father Rex Alarcon ng Diocese of Daet at Chairman ng Episcopal Commission on Youth. Maraming salamat po, Bishop Rex. Pati na rin po kay Father Julianne Samnia ng Don Bosco, kay Kat Diaz ng TV Maria, kay Leahna Villajos ng Diocese of Cubao, at siyempre kay Father Connie Gonigondo ng Executive Secretary ng Episcopal Commission on Mission. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. At siyempre, para kay Margo Salcedo, ang ating MC, at ng Dominus Est na siyang nag-host ng ating talakayan ngayon. Katapusin po natin ito ng isang kunting maiksing panalangin. Manalangin po tayo. Panginoon namin Diyos, maraming salamat sa pagkakataong ito. Pinagdiriwang po namin ang biyaya ng pananampalataya na ipinagkaloob mo sa amin. Naway hindi po namin ito sarilihin, ang biyayang ito, bagkus ibahagi namin ito dahil ang biyayang aming natanggap ay dapat aming ibahagi sa iba. Itong lahat ay hinihiling namin sa iyo sa pamamagitan ni Kristo na aming Panginoon. Amen. Sumainyo ang Panginoon at pagpalain kayo ng makapangyarihang Diyos, ang Ama at ang Anak at ang Espiritu Santo. Amen. Salamat po.
Thank you po so much, Bishop Sok. And thank you also for the honor of tapping Dominus Est to organize the youth webinars. We'd also like to shout out to Monsignor Esteban Bonglo, Executive Secretary of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Mission, for making all of this happen. And we also like to greet Father Cone Garganta, the Executive Secretary of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Mission. He is in the Zoom right now.
Hello po, and it's time to close the program. But don't worry, there will be 2 more mission webinars for millennials. So mark your calendars. This will be every last Saturday of the month. So that's the last Sat of Feb, which is Feb 27, and the last Sat of March, which is March 27. Also at 3 p.m. We hope to see you all again and bring your friends next time. In the meantime, please follow and like the pages of the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Youth, the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Mission, and of course, Dominus Est to keep updated. We will also be emailing you certificates of attendance for this seminar for those who stayed in the Zoom until now. Please find the form to fill up in the chat. And make sure to join the next webinars. Okay ba yun? G!
G! And now, since we have said yes to mission, or G to mission, let us once again be inspired through prayer as we listen to the Malolos Choral Ensemble, as we sing the theme song for the year of Missio a Gentes, ang awit ng misyon, We Give Our Yes. Thank you to everyone for joining, and thank you to the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Mission and the CBCP Episcopal Commission on Youth. And on behalf of our team at Dominus Est, once again, I'm Oreo.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Renee. Sa lahat po ng kabataan from our dioceses all over the country and joining us online, G2 Mission.
G!
We
give our yes.
My head is aching, my heart is something I can't hide. Oh, can't deny.
Limang daang taong biyaya, salamat Panginoon sa iyong punda. Misyong kaloob sa aming puso, aming sarili ay aming handog, laging tapat at laging tugon, naririto handa kami, Panginoon. Kami hahayo sa iba't ibang dako, hatid ng iyong salita at paglilingkod. Maria, siyang gabay namit lukod, lalaganap alam ng iyong misyon. Limang daang taong biyaya, sarili ay aming handog, laging tapat, laging tugon, narito handa kami, Panginoon. Naririto handa kami, Panginoon. Taong biyaya, salamat Panginoon sa iyong punla. Misyong kaloob sa aming puso, aming sarili ay aming handog, laging tapat at laging tugon, naririto handa kami, Panginoon. Kami hahayo sa iba't ibang dako, hatid ang iyong salita at paglilingkod. Inang Maria, ang siyang gabay namit lugod, lalaganap alab ng iyong misyon. Taong biyaya, salamat Panginoon sa iyong punla. Misyong kaloob sa aming puso, aming sarili ay aming handog, laging tapat at laging tugon, naririto handa kami, Panginoon. Mga kaloob na aming alay sa mundo, katarungan, kabanalan, kapayapaan. Sa senyal na ito maniniwala ang mundo, pagmamahal namin sa bawat tao. Ang taong biyaya, sarili ay aming handog, laging tapat at laging tugon, naririto handa kami.